Okay, this is your Trig Review 1, so we're just going to go over these and check my focus here. And make sure you have this available because I'll be referring to this as I go over these review problems. Okay, so number 1 says sketch each angle in standard position, then determine the reference angle. So number 1, we have 17 pi over number 1. Yeah, number 1 is 17 pi over 6. Now this is more than 2 pi because 2 pi would be 12 pi over 6. That's equal to 2 pi, and that's all the way around the circle. So I'm going to go all the way around, and then I'll subtract that. So 17 pi over 6 minus 12 pi over 6 is going to be 5 pi over 6. That's what I'm going to end up with, is 5 pi over 6. In other words, 17 pi over 6, go all the way around, is 12 pi over 6. That leaves me with 5 pi over 6, and I keep going. So we sketch it, and you'll probably have an axis if we ask you to do this on a test. So here's y, here's x. Remember, the initial side of the angle is always the positive x-axis. So that's my initial side. And in reality, I'm going all the way around. So if you want to think of it like this, you can go all the way around. And that's your 12 pi over 6, which is 2 pi. Then we're going to go around another 5 pi over 6. And that's going to take me all the way over here to there, I think, because that's going to be 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, which is pi over 2, 4 pi over 6, and 5 pi over 6. And then that's going to be my terminal side. So sketch each angle in standard position. So I've sketched it in standard position. Starts over like, ends up like this. And it says determine the reference angle. Well, the reference angle is going to be this angle over here. The angle that the terminal side makes with just the x-axis, not the positive x-axis, but just the x-axis. And this is that angle. So the reference angle, this would be A. I've sketched it, so I guess I should mark this. This is A. And B, the reference angle is going to be pi over 6. Because that's going to be pi over 6 there. Okay? Hope that makes sense, all right? Goes all the way around. And then remember, the reference angle is the angle that the terminal side makes with just the x-axis. Okay? Not the positive x-axis. That's where the initial side is. Okay? All right. Number 2. It was 5 pi over 4. So again, we'll draw our axes. This is definitely, this is less than 2 pi. Actually, it's going to be in the third quadrant, so that's not going to be a problem. So we can draw axes like this, like this. This would be A, and then we'll start with our initial side here. That's going to go, this would be 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, which is pi, and then 5 pi over 4. So it's going to go right in the middle like this. So there's your angle 5 pi over 4, and then your reference angle is going to be just pi over 4. So there's, you sketch the angle in standard position. There's a reference angle, so this is your A, the sketch, and B, the reference angle is pi over 4. Again, the angle the terminal side makes with the x-axis. All right? And then number 3, do some in degrees. Actually, these are a little bit easier to deal with. And we've got 670 degrees. Oh, I forgot to put the little degree sign on. Sometimes my program doesn't put those in, so If you look at your worksheet, make sure you fix these. Sorry about that. Make sure you put degrees in here and here. And these would be degrees over here, here, and here. Sorry about that. And these would be degrees here, here, and these are all degrees. These are on my original program, but sometimes when it switches, the degrees disappear. So I have to put them in manually. So make sure you put those degrees in on your worksheet. Sorry about that. Okay. So anyway, 670 degrees. Well, all the way around, like the first problem, all the way around is going to be 360 degrees, so I can just subtract 360 from that. And I have left 0, 1, 310 degrees. Okay. So we'll draw our axes for part A. And this is the initial side. And I'm going to go all the way around here, start, and all the way around will be 360, so I'll just show that. So we go all the way around once, 360, and then we continue another 310. So there's 90, 180, 270. All right, so if I can subtract 270 from that, looks like I'm going to have 40 more degrees. That's my terminal side, so this would be about 40 degrees here. Okay. Is that all right? So there's my sketch. There's my A. There's the angle. That's what the angle looks like. There's my 360, 270, and 40 makes my 310. And then B, the reference angle, is going to be the angle the terminal side makes with the x-axis. Well, this is 90, this is 40. This has got to be 50 degrees. So the reference angle is 50 degrees. Okay. And then number 4, another degrees, negative 400 degrees. I say I'm going to go all the way around 360, so if I subtract 360 from that, or add 360, whatever you want, that's going to leave me with 40 more degrees. So let's draw an axis and see what this is going to look like. This is my initial side, positive x-axis. We always start here. But now we're going to go clockwise because it's a negative angle. So I'm going to go negative all the way around. And that's 360 plus another 40. And there's my terminal side. So there's your 360 and 40 makes negative 400 in the clockwise direction, and that's obviously going to be a 40-degree angle. So there's your reference angle. The angle it makes with the x-axis, that's 40 degrees. So there's your sketch A, and B, your reference angle was 40 degrees. All right. So that's 1 through 4. Hope that makes sense.